Today, we have some entitled grandparents who try to kidnap their granddaughter. Sounds like a mess. Well, let's get cracking. Hello. So this story happened to me for over a year, and I think and hope it has finally stopped. Here's some backstory. After a painful breakup with the guy I was really into, I went back with my ex, and after a month, ended up pregnant. Because of my religious background, I decided to keep the baby and break up with my ex. He was 6 years older than me, 27 years, and was starting over his career. Had no work, lived off his parents' money, and was a jerk to his pets. Spent all his remaining money on pets, it was his hobbies, all while I was pregnant. He dismissed all my symptoms like morning sickness, dizziness, weakness, mood swings as something as I was making up. Seeing as I was going to have no future with him, and that he might even end up abusing our child as he did with his dog, a sweet pit bull named Andromeda that got constant beatings when he was not in the mood. So I broke up with him, and he was shocked. He was so sure that now that I was pregnant with his child, I would not escape him. He even tried proposing to me, but I said no, that I had no future with him and that he better leave me alone. During my first 3 months of pregnancy, my thoughts of being better off alone were confirmed when he mistreated me emotionally, saying all my morning sickness, nausea, and other pregnancy symptoms were psychological because they were too early into the pregnancy. He forced me to go to parties, walk long distances, and to visit his family even though I was feeling really sick. So after 3 months of torture, I broke up with him. The next month, he came over to my house, called, and tried to persuade my parents to tell me to get back with him. My parents told him to speak to me and that they won't deal with our relationship. My parents are really supportive of me. You see, I was born in Russia but moved to Ecuador when I was small. I have fair skin, hair, and eyes. In the country where I live, mostly everyone has dark features. I was seen as a trophy because of my heritage and looks. He showed me off when we were together to all his family, and I found out it was his family tradition to marry people from out of the country to have a higher status. Meanwhile, my ex's parents, let's call them Bob and Karen, were all nice and sweet to me. I never had any trouble with them and considered them really nice people, until now. They texted to ask how I was feeling and if I needed anything, but by the time that I decided I didn't want any contact with the family, I wouldn't take any money from him for childcare because I didn't want any visits. Though I was planning on allowing Bob and Karen to visit and take care of the baby. X wasn't really worried about the baby and was more thinking about winning me back, but when he found out it was not going to happen, he left the case altogether. Fast forward, and during my pregnancy, I started dating my best friend. Let's call him Isaac. And he helps me through the pregnancy and is there for me even during childbirth. Everything goes well and I have a precious baby girl. I fall in love with her immediately. Everything goes well when I get a text from Bob saying he was outside my house and for me to come out because he had some gifts for the baby. You see, in Ecuador, there's a culture where you have to call beforehand about a week prior to visiting, and it was high disrespect if you showed up at someone's house demanding to be let in. I got slightly irritated by this fact, but came out. He and his wife Karen were there and handed me a bag of gifts from all the family members they told about me and the pregnancy, and said if they could see the baby. I told them that at that moment she was sleeping and we didn't want to let anyone in so she wouldn't wake up. She was really small, almost 3 weeks I think. The sweet couple's face turned and twisted into angry, entitled grandparents. Karen struck with her fist against the car, a small Chevrolet Aveo, and the father just grumbled, but then calmed down and said that they gave me presents and now have the right to visit their grandchild, that I must allow them in, and that Karen wanted to hold her. You see, to me, respect is really important, and I can't stand being disrespected. I just gave birth 3 weeks ago, can barely walk, and now they want to come in and hold my baby? No way. I just changed my mind about letting them in her life. So the conversation went as follows. Excuse me, but I can't let you in right now. She's sleeping and wakes up easily. Oh, but come on. It's just a baby. She will fall asleep right after a few minutes. Just let us come in. Karen has come all this way to carry her. Sorry, but it's a no. Thanks for the gifts though. Next time, it would be nice if you called prior to coming so I can make sure everything is ready for your visit and you might get to hold her.
You have no right to hold the baby away from us. Even if your relationship with X didn't work, she is our grandchild.
I understand, but as I said before, I really don't want to wake her up.
How dare you disrespect me? That is our baby, and we have a right to see her. Bring her out now.
No, sorry, I can't. That baby is worth a lot to us. You know that in our family bloodline it's very important. We need to take pictures of her and send them. Did she get blonde hair and green eyes like you? She has amber hair and blue eyes. That will do. Bring her out now. Sorry, I'm tired. I usually sleep when she sleeps, so I'm going in right now.
Bob, do something about it. She's kidnapping our baby and keeping it away from us.
I closed the door behind me, feeling in shock. They treated my baby as if she was some dog that had a pedigree, and they wanted to show her pictures to the other family they had. I did not like this one bit. I went inside while Bob was trying to calm Karen, assuring her that I would let them see their baby next visit. No, I won't. Fast forward about a month, and I receive a call that they're here. Great, they didn't call prior to the visit once again. Now I have a chance to talk to them. I come out with my dad this time. He is a really tall, well-built man with a stone face. He is really kind and funny, but has a dead serious face most of the time. I wanted him to be with me just in case they become aggressive or something. This time, even X decided to show up. Hello, OP. Can we see the baby now? We got you more gifts. Sorry, but you won't be seeing the girl. You see, I want to start my life fresh. I made many mistakes in the past, and I do not want to get involved with you or your family at all. I have now moved on and want a future with me and my daughter. Even if I got a chance to find someone else and marry, I don't want my daughter to have 3 sets of grandparents. I hope you understand that. I said way more much stuff, but this is a summary of everything. Karen's face turned red as if I had just insulted her with the worst kind of words, and she just leaned on her car and hid her face while starting to sob silently. I kind of felt bad for her, but all that sympathy died soon. Oh, kids these days. Listen, we are her grandparents and we have a right to see her and have her and do what we wish with her. She is our family, so don't act immature. You bring her out now so we can see her. Also on holidays, she will be coming to our place and spending it with us. You are just a child and you know nothing about life. I'm 22. She will suffer if she doesn't spend time with us. You have no right to take her away from us. I understand you are angry at X, but that doesn't give you a right to behave like this.
Yes, she's mad at me and does this as a payoff.
Our family is very prestigious, so the child will be very happy. Also, everyone will like her because she has foreign blood, and we want to make sure everyone knows how special she is. My decision is final, sorry. I will not hold contact with you, nor will you get to meet my daughter.
How dare you, little immature girl, take this right away from us? We are her grandparents.
My dad, who was already fed up with all of this, happened to raise his voice, which he never does, and sounded pretty terrifying. His Spanish isn't really good, but he made himself clear. Okay, you listen to me now. My daughter has suffered enough with people like you. She wants to start a life, and it will be the best for her daughter to do the same. She doesn't have to be with people like you, so just leave her alone. OP, let's go inside now. Karen then pushed past me and, screeching like a mad banshee, tried to push her way past my house gate and into my yard. This surprised me, her husband Bob, and even X, but not my dad. He just stood in the way, blocking her from going in, till she got tired and walked back to her car, defeated. We are family and have rights. Remember that, you immature girl. You are hurting your daughter. So let me tell you some stuff about parental rights in Ecuador. The mother has sole custody until the father proves that he is the father with a DNA test. He has 5 years to prove it, or else he loses his rights to parenthood. Only the father has the right to move something in court. It costs about $1,500 to call me for court, $1,500 to bring the DNA test results, $1,000 to state that he is the father, and another $1,500 to set out the visit rights and such. Being an unemployed teen with no career and no time living in a city 6 hours away from me, he didn't have all that money, nor did his parents. And also, he only cared about winning me back to show off. He didn't care about his daughter, and I couldn't be happier. His parents couldn't bring anything to court since they are not immediate relatives, so I'm more than sure that they won't be able to do anything. After all that, they texted me a few times trying to come over and visit my daughter once again, but all their offers were denied, and after they came without announcement once again, nobody came out. That was the end of it. Or so I thought. So I live pretty far from them. In the next city, which is a 2-hour drive and close to my house, there is a shopping mall I often go to. So I was on a stroll there with my Isaac, who apart from being pretty handsome, practices martial arts and is super buff. His friends nicknamed him the demigod because of it, so he is quite intimidating, and when he gets mad, all craziness breaks loose. Also, he is really protective of me and my daughter. Every Saturday or Sunday we just go out to walk around, buy a snack, and just have a chill time dating with my daughter in her stroller, mostly sleeping. X knew I used to do this and must have told his parents because while we were waiting in line for our ice cream at Baskin-Robbins, I had the stroller next to me, not in front of me as usual because it would take unnecessary space in the line. So I have the stroller on my right and Isaac is on my left. I have my hand on the stroller and we're just chatting along, waiting our turn when I feel a light movement in the stroller and turn to see if my daughter, let's call her Abby, woke up. To my surprise, I look and see Karen trying to sneak Abby out of her stroller, obviously waking her up and making her muffled cries. What the do you think you're doing? I say while I try to take Abby from Karen's arms, but there's a stroller between us and Karen turns around and starts speedily walking off with crying Abby in her arms. You must as well know that in Ecuador, you might be getting robbed, harassed, or attacked and almost no one cares or will do anything about it. So all the people in line just stared. I walked past the stroller to chase after her, but Isaac was faster and managed to catch up to Karen, who was pretty fat and slow. Snatched Abby carefully from her arms while she was having a fit, handed Abby to me, and proceeded to scream at Karen. I noticed Bob was in the car peeping at her, but not wanting to come out. They wanted to make a run for it and steal my daughter away. How dare you touch Abby and worse, even steal her away from her stroller, you dumb. Karen then sat on the ground and started screaming for security. They came and asked what's going on. Ma'am, what seems to be the problem?
They kidnapped my daughter. That baby is mine and they took her away from me and then shoved me to the floor and kicked me in the guts.
Is that true? No, of course not. She stole my girlfriend's baby from her stroller and tried to make a run for it. She is the mother of OP's ex. I just stopped the fat and returned the baby to my girlfriend.
He's lying. He stole her from me. I'm the mother and she looks like me. Don't you see?
Well, let's check the security footage to see if...
There's no need for that. We are wasting time. Just give me my daughter back now. She needs me.
So security made us all go back and check the footage when they proved that Karen was following us for about an hour before trying to snatch Abby while Bob was waiting in the car for her all this time. Then the footage showed everything else that happened. The security guard said he will have to call the police, so while he dialed the cops, she once again tried to snatch the now sleeping Abby from my arms, but without luck, because Isaac was there and blocked her way before pushing her down to the ground. Karen just stood up and started screeching while trying to go past him, throwing punches and kicks. The security guards had to restrain her until the police came and took her away. So that was the last time I heard from them, and I hope it stays that way. You see, some of you may think it's wrong for me to keep my daughter from her father, but knowing that first, he has no interest in her, second, is an abuser, and third, that he might only use her as an object to show her off to friends and family, makes me believe I'm making the right choice in protecting her from all that pain that might bring to her in the future. I can't believe that there are some people who think that they are entitled to your child. As the parent, you have the right to choose who wants to see your child, and these grandparents were definitely seeing the child as some sort of accessory. Well, anywho, if you have an opinion on this story, then please let me know and comment below. If you like what you see, leave a like pretty please, subscribe as well, and ding that little bell. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.